Hey guys, it's Gracie from the Music Enthusiast blog, and today I'm here with Takis. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for pronouncing my name perfectly, by the way.
No problem. Thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot to the blog and a lot to us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Anytime I get to, share my story and talk about the music I've been working on, I'm there. So I'll be here every time you call.
So let's get into the questions. What really made you want to get into music?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Um, for everybody listening has a different starting point for being obsessed with music. For me, I don't know what it was. I would have gone on the internet for the first time. My parents had a computer and I'm surfing the web and I'm hearing about these artists like early Kanye West and early Kid Cudi. And I'm hearing about these hip hop mixtapes and these blogs. And to me, it was just so different than what I was experiencing in my hometown, in my middle school or elementary school. I was seeing a lot of my friends talk about, whatever pop music was on the radio. And I never seen these artists that I thought were like dressed so cool and their sounds were so different. And literally since I was a kid surfing the web, I just wanted to be a part of this music business in some way. And I've been on that path ever since.
What do you think your favorite musical memory would be?
Oh, wow. I think the biggest moment of my life was performing at a festival called EDC in Mexico City a couple years ago. And up until that moment, I used to tell myself, let's put on a good show. I was very like stoic about it. I was like, let's focus on putting on a good performance. Let's be very strict with everything. It was all about putting on a good show for the crowd. That was my whole thing. I wouldn't get emotional about anything. The moment I got on that stage, that big stage, and I looked out and I couldn't see the end of people, I got emotional and I got flustered. And I'm like, oh no, I'm like forgetting what song I'm playing next. I'm forgetting which cue points I'm trying to mix in. So I think that was the one of the only moments where I got rattled, that I was so caught up in, wow, I'm actually on this stage, that it was enough to kind of make me emotional at the start. And I got off stage and I stayed that way. So that was a special one that I remember.
You said you had music in your early ages of life. Have you always been creating music, or was there a point where you just like listening to it instead of actually creating?
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was just what CDs can I like share with my friends? What CD can I like steal from my dad? So it was all just obsessed with what can we share with our friends. I'd have a friend that'd be like, yo, listen to this. I'm like, yo, that's really good, but listen to this. It was really just, yeah, there was no goal. It was just excitement of this new thing. And we felt like we were exclusive, or we thought we were a part of some club because we knew about certain artists that no one else knew about. um, but yeah, that was my life for years.
Do you think there was a key point where you realized that you wanted to pursue making music?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I'm from a city called Winnipeg, Manitoba, and that's where I was born. And for many reasons, a lot of people said that pursuing music wasn't even possible. And I understand any kid listening right now is saying, well, people say music isn't realistic to this day, of course. But they said, no, music isn't realistic. Music is impossible. Just take that dream and throw it out. That was what they were saying. So I never thought it was going to be my job. I never thought this would be something viable. But on the plus side, why that was all like amazing, I never thought money would be involved. So I could just do what I loved. I never thought it was going to be legit. It was literally just a hobby, a fun hobby. And there were a few moments where whether a remix went viral or a big DJ played one of my songs, or there were these stepping stones that I looked around, I said, oh, wow, this is actually real. This is working. I'm, flying around doing shows. This is very strange, but I think probably one of the greatest blessings of where I come from, I was so sure that I could never make a living making music, that it allowed me to actually just love making music.
Mm-hmm. What was it like for you starting out in such a competitive industry? Like, was that hard for you?
Yes. That was incredibly challenging. But I mean, it's challenging for everyone. One of the things, like, oh man, I don't want to sound like cheesy, so forgive me.
Go ahead.
But I I was talking to my team and this song all time, I was like, guys, is it weird that I'm not attached to final results right now? That I'm just proud of the package we put together. I'm proud of the song we wrote. I'm proud of the visuals we brought. I'm proud of the production quality I've gotten to. And, that was something that's very recent for me in the past few months where I'm able to kind of say, I know that results do matter. I'm in the music business. I have a team that cares about results, but I'm really kind of just proud of the products we're putting out. So yeah, it's very challenging, but I hope every day I get a bit closer to just being proud of the product I'm creating versus the result. And the result is like a circus. I don't know what's going to happen in that circus, but all I can do in my little studio is try to make the best product possible.
How do you find inspiration for your song? Like, is there a process to your writing, or is it just go in and figure it out?
Yeah, I mean, pre-COVID, it was about personal relationships. You have a relationship that works or it doesn't work, and you want to write about it. You want to go with some songwriter friends or some producer friends and just vent and try to put it all out on a song. And 9 times out of 10, it sounds terrible, but 1 time out of 10, you might have a hit record. So pre-COVID, it was real life experiences. You have to go out, you have to hear a lot of no's, you have to experience a lot of pain, a lot of ups and downs. During COVID, it's been kind of challenging. And instead of being able to write about these very personal moments, a song like All Time is more of a general theme of saying everything's going to be all right.
Mhm.
Maybe just in general, I'm not talking about anything specifically, but in general, maybe as a collective, things are going to be all right for everybody. So my for this song, it was very unique in that way, where I wasn't writing about a very specific relationship. I wasn't writing about one or two people in my life and a painful moment that I could imagine perfectly. It was more, hey, last year really, really sucked. It really, really hurt. I feel everyone else's pain. Let me write a song that's just about hope in general. So in this way, the new record All Time is a little bit more about a feeling, a general feeling of hope versus a very specific moment in my life.
Mhm. Speaking of all time, it's your first release of this year. How are you feeling about that?
I feel great. I do feel a little nervous. And like I said earlier, I don't feel nervous about end goals and results. I feel nervous about the Takis fans, the people that have heard me write sad songs, and the people that expect me to write about breakups and about dark pain. That's what a lot they're like, you know what? You're making electronic slash pop records, but you're telling really, really honest and sometimes sad stories. Those fans are about to hear a song that is very bright, a song that is not about a breakup. So my nerves don't come from end results and what happens on charts or sales. My nerves come from the people that expect and maybe like a sad Takis. Hopefully they'll understand and appreciate why I'm trying to break out of that with a song about positivity.
Yeah, did you have to go out of your comfort zone? Like, were you a little worried about writing a song that wasn't your normal go-to?
Oh, I'm still worried. I'm terrified as we speak. But, and even further than that, to be honest, I scrapped a few songs that I thought were a little too dark and a little too sad. And it wasn't the person I was trying to be this year. So yeah, I'm scared. I feel like I scrapped two really good songs. I don't know what's going to happen on that. I don't know if my fans are going to react and say, "Hey, what are you trying to, that's a cheesy line or whatever." I don't want that to happen. I hope they understand that I'm really being honest, that guys, not being cheesy, I actually just had a really bad year and I'm just trying to have a bright year. So rock with me. And I hope this helps you guys. So, yeah, the nerves never end because the moment you start having fans that care is the moment they have expectations and you never want to let them down. I'm okay letting the business side down in long-term performance. I'm not okay letting down a handful of kids that really care about my music.
Yeah. How did you decide that All Time was going to be your first release of this year?
Yeah, it really goes back to having a moment where I decided I wanted to write something hopeful, that I wasn't going to keep putting out songs that were about bad situations in my life. And that was a tough moment. And it was a really tough shift, but it was a commitment I had to make. You can't exactly write the songs I was writing, whether it was Wait for Me or From the Start, and then just say, hey guys, I'm going to make this happy song. And then the next one I go back to it. It's a commitment. It's a real commitment. And it's something that, like I said, I scrapped songs that I thought were really good, but didn't have a positive or a more upbeat, hopeful message. So yeah, that was it was a decision I made, just feeling like last year it was just too much. Like no one had to hear a sad song to feel sad. They just literally had to like go on Twitter and they were like, you know what, things are not looking good right now. So I just didn't want to be a part of that anymore. And it's a bold risk, but it's a risk that just feels right. I'm not buying into that anymore. We're gonna have a good year.
Yeah. Do you have any future projects coming up that you could tell us a little bit about?
So the big focus all time is the third single off the upcoming project, Welcome Home. And this year is going to be about consistent song releases that have a hopeful message leading up to this album that I really care about and I'm really proud of. It's called Welcome Home. And hopefully that comes out in summer. I we have a rough goal for the release date, but I'm going to take it step by step. My main focus right now is letting people know about All Time, and I really hope they enjoy it.
Yeah. Have you seen any changes from your first release to All Time? Like, has your music changed in any way that you can see?
I think sonically, um, I try to dial in on the sounds. I like using guitars. I like having more of a chill down tempo house music. So sonically, I don't think I'm going to change much. And I'm really just going to try to refine, and just perfect the sound that I've been pushing since the first release off the project. But like we've talked about, um, songwriting wise, stories, yeah, I'm for sure trying to be a more optimistic artist.
This is more of a personal question, but if you could describe yourself and then your music in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question. 3 words.
Yeah.
Um, Myself, introvert, nerd. Oh no. I feel can I do two? Introvert,
Yeah,
nerd.
that works.
I watch documentaries and I don't like leaving my house. So that is my personal side. And musically, I guess before I was just like raw and honest. It was like I will tell you guys about my most personal moments. And I'll try to wrap them in a pop package. Moving forward, I'm gonna say honest but hopeful.
Mhm. I mean, those are all good words, and I feel you with the
That's a tough
documentary.
question.
I feel like documentaries have been a big part of like 2020 and 2021, so I get you with that.
What
Um,
are your 3 words, by the way,
no one's
for
ever asked
yourself?
me that.
well, well, here we are.
Probably, I don't know. I
See,
feel
it's
like
a tough
thrown
question.
off here. I was just doing interviews for my class today, and it's like,
Tough question. Now you know. Now you know what it feels to use 2 words.
probably like hopeful, positive, and just kind.
I like that.
Back on track. Thank you for like throwing it at me. Do you have an ideal collaboration that you would want to have?
Oh wow. Yeah, there's a bunch in mind. this is the weirdest part. I think back when I was first starting, I would love to answer that question because it felt like it would never happen. Now I probably don't want to answer it because there are conversations actually kind of happening in real life. So that's probably my interesting answer to that. If you asked me that question 5 years ago, I would spitball a bunch of names, but today I'm really trying to get those names, and I'm really starting to have those conversations and send records, send ideas, and try to coordinate. So I won't give an answer because I have a few, but all three I'm actually trying to do in real life, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. But that's a really good question. I'm not going to say it because I really want to make it happen this year.
Well, I'll be watching for any collaborations. Do you have any like favorite songs at the moment?
Oh wow. That's a really, I'm really excited and hoping for Drake's new album. I think Drake's an incredible artist. Um, Huge fan of his. There's an artist named Saint John, who I'm a really big fan of him as a songwriter. And I mean, I'm a fan of like a million DJs, Frank Walker and Loud Luxury. I think it have a really amazing song. I've been listening to Ryan Shepherd's new song, Hello Sunday. If you check my like Spotify, I think I have my Spotify on private because my manager was like, bro, you listen to the most random stuff because he could see my activity. But if people got to see my Spotify history in public, they'd be like, wow, this guy listens to every genre 24/7. So it's hard to put one specifically. I have too many.
Our website is basically about up and coming artists or local artists. Are there any artists that you have your eye on right now or that you would recommend?
Oh wow. Yeah, I think some of the names that I just mentioned, I think Frank Walker is a really great electronic DJ. I'm a big fan of his. I think you can't say Loud Luxury is up and coming, but I think those guys are incredible Canadian DJs. And then, I just mentioned Ryan Shepherd as well. He has a song called Hello Sunday. It's a very bright record, and I think he is born and raised in Toronto, so I'll shout him out as well.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, but thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you. That was fun.